So we need to talk about this New York Knicks team. Currently, they are the 5th seed in the East. Since the trade deadline, they're 6-0. Josh Hart comes in, embraces the city, the culture, the grind. He's been knocking down threes, getting in the passing lanes, just getting after it. He might even be a starter by the end of the season. That's how much of an impact he's made. Overall, second best record in the league. Second in net rating, fourth in offensive rating, seventh in defensive rating. And casuals will say that, oh, it's only been 6 games. Well, if you go back to December 4th, the Knicks have a top 5 offense and they have a top 10 defense. Coach Thibodeau definitely deserves to be in the Coach of the Year conversation for what he's done, taking a team that many thought wouldn't even be in the playoffs to the 5th seed, and the Knicks are just getting started. They are rapidly ascending. They could get all the way up to probably 3 might be a stretch, but I think they could probably get up to the 4th seed, which would mean home court advantage. And the way they've been playing in the Garden recently, it's just pretty crazy. I mean, this is the best basketball the Knicks have played in a long time. They've got a great team, but more importantly, the culture is there. Guys are playing hard. They have an identity. It wasn't that long ago where the Knicks couldn't get a win at home to save the life of them, and now it's like they just can't be stopped. I mean, this is a Boston Celtics team that, give or take, was without Jaylen Brown, but they still have a fantastic team, and they couldn't really buy anything against the Knicks. I mean, they scored 94 points, like a Boston Celtic team with Jason Tatum, who's averaging over 30 a night. And going into New York and just not even being able to put up 100 points is crazy impressive. And you got to give credit to these Knicks role players. I know everyone wants to talk about Randall Brunson and RJ Barrett, but the truth be told, it's the role players, the bench unit that has been the biggest thing for the Knicks. And I already talked about Hart, but Mano quickly is one of the best 6 players in the league. He had 23 tonight on 4 of 7 shooting. IQ was getting a ton of open looks because the Celtics were double teaming Julius Randle, and it makes sense, right? All-star on the Knicks, you don't want to let him go one-on-one, but he's finding teammates. Randle in this game, he had 4 assists, so he's moving the ball around. And the biggest thing to me, though, that stood out was Mitchell Robinson. He had 10 points and 13 rebounds, 5 of 5 from the field. He did miss all 4 of his free throws, which is the one knock of Mitch's game is he can't hit free throws. If he can work on that, I mean, we could be talking about one of the probably not one of the best centers in the league, but defensively, absolutely. But just, I mean, we could be talking about a seriously good player. And Mitch is only in his mid-20s too, so he definitely has a lot of basketball left in him. And remember, he came out of where's he from? I forget where Mitch is from. Is he from? Oh my God, I feel like I should know this. He's from down south, I'm pretty sure, and he came out of high school and was a second-round pick. The Knicks, the way they've been drafting and just making moves lately is something that we can't really say about the past Knicks. I mean, and by the way, Mitch did have 2 blocks and 2 steals, so he just was doing it all tonight. The one question mark that I have for the Knicks is RJ Barrett. He has not played well this season. He's as moment. RJ's had a 44 bomb last game, had like 25 or 26 on efficient splits. But RJ hasn't been consistent this season. He hasn't shot the ball well. He's statistically speaking the worst defender on the Knicks. And in terms of EFG percentage, he's 10th on the team. So RJ it just hasn't played well this season. A lot of that has to do with Brunson, because if you look at Randall, Brunson has taken his game to a different level, while as Brunson or Barrett is getting less touches now, and they're trying to figure out how to utilize him. That's why you see RJ with the second unit in the start of the second quarter, because they're trying to, Coach Tibbs trying to give him the ball, create more opportunities, and it actually really hasn't worked, which is sad because Knicks fans are rooting for RJ. He was the 3rd pick in the draft back in 2019, and he has so much potential. Like RJ has some 20 points plus per game potential. I mean, he's actually scoring 19 a game right now, so it's not like RJ's playing terrible. I mean, he's going to be a 20 to 25 points per game scorer that can also defend. I mean, we've seen Barrett have just some incredible defensive possessions and just stretches, like last season, for example. The Knicks struggled defensively with him off the court. But this season, I think a lot of it's mental. I mean, playing in New York City, it's not easy, man. I mean, I can't speak on it, obviously, because I'm just a YouTuber, but like, could you imagine playing in the biggest market in the world with all that pressure of being the number 3 pick and a team that hasn't won a championship in 1973? Like, I'm 24 and my mom wasn't even alive then. Like, that's how long it's been, bro. But I just keep pushing, man. The fans have RJ's back. I'll be the first to tell you, RJ's got to play better. But we have his back. We don't boo RJ Barrett. Like for tonight, he goes 4 of 14. We don't sit up there and start booing RJ Barrett. It's just about making sure that he's in the best position to succeed. And if that is coming off the bench, if that is playing just 26 minutes, then that's what Coach Tibb is going to do, and that's what he's done. Quentin Grimes, you look at the box score, you didn't watch the game, you'll be like, he was pretty mid tonight. Quentin Grimes was fantastic defensively, making it tough on these Celtics players, and he had 4 assists. He just made quick decisions, spaced the floor, and played just 21 minutes, but it was a very productive 21 minutes. I've been impressed with Grimes, balled out in the Rising Stars game as well. I talked about quickly Josh Hart. We talked briefly about just his impact as a Knick in just 6 games. I mean, 12, 5, and 5. Also gave you 2 steals, getting in the passing lane. He had this really good double team on Tatum and just came up behind him and was able to poke the ball loose. Hart's a really smart player. He's just kind of built to play in New York. And, who would have thought that Josh Hart would make the New York Knicks a championship-level contender? Maybe getting ahead of myself, but Josh Hart truly has made a huge impact. It's kind of crazy. Isaiah Hartenstein played in 16 minutes, and I didn't think he played particularly well. I mean, he's had moments, like the past couple of games, he has had good games. I don't know. It's just Isaiah's so streaky and inconsistent. Like, he legitimately looks like an unreal player, and then other games, it's like, what the hell? Like, this game, nothing pretty, but he is going to play a huge role for the Knicks' playoff rotation and just rest of the season. I mean, he is a smart player who rebounds and is a good passer. Just want to see more consistency. That's the thing. Like, if we can get him playing like IQ and Hart, who we know what we're getting every game, I mean, the Knicks would be even better. So, and then last but not least, Obi Toppin had 9 points in 12 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field. I don't understand the whole Obi situation because he truly is a good player. Like, Obi could play 25 to 30 minutes a night on a lot of teams in this league. It's just him and Randall doesn't exactly coexist, at least in terms of Tibbs' eyes and probably most people's. I don't think Randall and Obi would work very well. I like Randall and Mitch, or like Randall and, I don't know, another big or something, but, Randall and Sims wasn't bad by any means. Yeah, Obi, I think we should have traded him, and not because he's not good. It's just because we don't use him. Like, I would have rather seen Obi go to a team that will actually, kind of appreciate him and use him, but we kept him, and we kept Rose, and I don't know, just hopefully we can get guys more involved. But like, I mean, if you think about it, ever since the Knicks ditched Fournier and Rose, they've actually been playing a lot better. And they're running like an 8-man rotation right now. The Knicks are. I mean, how many guys played tonight? 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they did use 9 tonight, but Obi 12 minutes, Isaiah had 16 minutes. It's just a really short rotation. I mean, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be mad about McBride and Jericho and Rose getting minutes, but at the same time, like, I don't know how they really would get them, because Hart quickly should be playing 30 minutes a game at minimum, and then the starters like Grimes. It's so funny because I'm a Knicks fan. If you guys didn't know, or I don't know if you would have been able to tell, but I am a Knicks fan. Like, I couldn't remember having an issue of too much good talent, good players. Normally there's not really like that for the Knicks, but yeah, everything looks good right now. Being a Knicks fan feels great. Of course we won a championship. Like, we're not just happy to be in the 5th seed, but at the same time, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy with the 5th seed. I'm ecstatic. If you were to tell me at the beginning of the year we'd be the 5th seed, I would have teared up, man. The Knicks have not had much success lately, especially since I've been a fan of them. Going back to 2010, we've made the playoffs a few times since then, and obviously we haven't been out of the second round of the playoffs. So just right now, the goal is to get to the 4th seed, beat the Cavs. I don't care if it goes 7, 6, 5, 4 games, or not necessarily the Cavs. Whoever's the 5th seed, beat them. Second round, obviously, want to win, but take them to 6, 7 games, and then off season, man, draft well, or just use the picks to go out there and get a superstar. But yeah, it's your boy Swaggy. You might know me. Some of you might recognize me over at Knicks Daily. Probably maybe handful of people. But yeah, I wanted to get this video out on Swaggy because I'm just trying to make more NBA content, man. You know what I'm saying? But Knicks tape, let's get it. Bing bong.